So, you've decided to learn a new skill. First off, that is fantastic. But whether you're a student trying to supplement your degree or a working pro gunning for that big promotion, you've probably opened up Coursera, and then you opened Udemy, and boom, you are instantly hit with a paradox of choice. I mean, both of these platforms boast literally thousands of courses covering absolutely everything. Artificial intelligence, business strategy, coding, personal development, you name it. It is completely overwhelming. But here's the thing, they are built around entirely different learning experiences. So before you spend your hard-earned money, or honestly, your incredibly valuable time, we're going to break it all down. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to answer one vital question.
And just to be clear right out of the gate, this explainer is not some boring battle of catalog sizes. We're not going to sit here, compare endless features, and crown one platform the universal king, because frankly, that doesn't help you at all. Course quality varies wildly, depending on the specific program and the instructor on both of these sites. Instead, think of this as your practical decision guide. We want to match the platform to your actual learning goal before you even think about swiping that credit card. So let's get into the right mindset for evaluating these two online learning giants.
Let's start with the biggest difference, setting the foundation.
Okay, let's dive into this. The most fundamental core philosophy separating these two platforms really comes down to this one idea. Udemy basically operates as a massive open marketplace. Think of it as a place where individual instructors teach specific, hyper-focused skills. You go there to choose a skill. Coursera, on the other hand, is built for structured learning. They primarily offer university and company-backed pathways. You go there to choose a broader goal. So the real question you need to be asking yourself isn't which website is better. The question is, what kind of learning experience do I actually need right now?
Moving on to round one. Learning one specific skill and the Udemy advantage.
Let's set up a highly practical scenario here. Let's say you just want to master one very specific, actionable task. Maybe you're an entrepreneur who literally needs to learn the basics of video editing for a marketing campaign launching on Friday. Or you're a professional who suddenly has to build some fancy Excel dashboards to impress the boss by next Tuesday. Or maybe you're just a lifelong learner tinkering with Python automation over the weekend for fun. You don't need a whole degree. Actually, scratch that. You definitely don't have the time for a whole degree. You just need to know how to execute this one specific thing.
And you know what? That is exactly where Udemy really shines. Because it functions as this massive open marketplace, it gives you unparalleled flexibility. You can search for that one exact skill, compare a dozen different instructors to see whose teaching vibe actually keeps you awake, preview a few videos, and then just buy that one exact course. You learn casually, totally at your own pace. And here's a massive perk. For those individually purchased marketplace courses, Udemy generally gives you lifetime access, as long as your account is in good standing and they keep the license. If your mental framework is simply, hey, teach me this specific skill right now, Udemy is an incredibly attractive option.
All right, moving right along to rounds 2 and 3, structured career learning, credentials, and the Coursera advantage.
Now, let's flip the script. Imagine your goal is quite a bit bigger. You don't just want a few casual tutorials to figure out a software tool. You are looking for a serious, broader career transformation. If you're a career switcher eyeing complex fields, think data analytics, cybersecurity, project management, AI, or business. Your needs are totally different. You're looking for a clear beginning, middle, and end to your learning journey, right? You want the whole shebang to break into a brand new industry or angle for a major promotion.
This is where Coursera becomes super compelling. Their catalog is packed with programs created by top-tier universities and absolute industry giants. We're talking places like Google, IBM, Microsoft, Meta, and Stanford. Instead of single standalone classes, a lot of these are organized into multi-course, structured pathways, and professional certificates. They even offer selected university-issued credentials. Now, quick reality check, a shiny certificate alone does not magically hand you a job. Employers still care way more about your actual skills, your experience, and your portfolio. But if the identity and the prestige of the university or the tech company behind the program actually matters to your overall career development, Coursera definitely deserves a closer look. Next up, rounds 4 and 5, cost, access, and flexibility. Let's get these buying models explained. So how does this all translate to your wallet? Let's talk about how you actually pay for and access this content. Because the cost and value considerations are pretty different here. With Udemy, you're mostly looking at one-time marketplace purchases. If you're the kind of person who likes collecting individual courses to reference years later, this piece-by-piece model is fantastic because of that lifetime access policy for eligible purchases. Udemy does also offer a personal plan subscription in eligible markets, but just a heads up, not every single course is included.
Coursera, on the flip side, does offer individual programs but leans really heavily into subscriptions, specifically Coursera Plus. That currently covers thousands of eligible courses, projects, and certificates, though full degrees are usually excluded. The big takeaway here is access. With a subscription model on either platform, your access to the material generally disappears when you stop paying. So you gotta ask yourself, do you want a library you own piece by piece, or are you cool paying for a window of time to power through a structured pathway?
I also need to quickly touch on the business landscape for a second. As you might have heard in this 2026 update, Coursera and Udemy actually announced a combination. I know, huge news, but their current guidance dictates that the platforms and user accounts are continuing to operate completely separately for now. So, as a learner, don't even worry about the corporate merger stuff just yet. You should absolutely still choose where to spend your time based solely on the distinct learning experiences each platform currently offers today.
Which brings us to the Learning Advisor verdict, your decision framework.
Okay, here is our rapid-fire decision framework to help you finalize your choice. And remember, this is a framework, not some absolute law of the universe. If your mantra is, I know the specific skill I want to learn, where you really value flexible single courses and getting to pick your own instructor, then Udemy is a fantastic starting point. On the flip side, if your mindset is, I want a more structured learning journey or credential that's backed by universities or top companies, Coursera is where you should begin. But no matter which path you lean towards, please remember this golden rule. Before you pay, always preview the content, check out the actual course syllabus, look into the instructor, read the reviews, understand what the exact learning outcome is, and verify the total cost. Never rush to pay before you are completely ready.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. The smartest choice isn't the platform with the biggest catalog, it's the course you will actually finish and use. It really is that simple. Match your learning goal to the platform that serves it best, and then commit to actually doing the work. Because, let's be honest, what good is a digital library of brilliant courses if it just gathers digital dust? Think about that one specific skill or credential you need to completely change your career trajectory this year. So what's stopping you from going out and mastering it today? I'm the Learning Advisor, helping you make smarter learning decisions.